Contact tracing is when someone who has the virus notes everyone they've come into contact with. Well, apps are now helping figure out to fight the coronavirus who you've been in contact with. But many are worried about privacy risk. How do they work? And what can you do to protect your security and privacy online? We're joined now by Alex Hamerstone, cybersecurity expert with TrustedSec. Thanks so much for joining us. First, let's talk about how these apps work. Are they tracking our movement and coming into contact with other people who have phones? And what problems could this lead to?
So what's interesting is when we think about these contract tracing apps, I think a lot of people assume they're going to be GPS based and go from there and know where your phone is or where you are. But the bulk of them really are using Bluetooth. So they're looking at the connections that your phone is making with other phones. So it can kind of tell how close you are, whether you're in contact with somebody else, and go from there. So it's really looking at the connections the phones are making. So from there, it's not quite following your location around, but really looking at who you're near and who you're connecting with.
Yeah, I think that brings up a lot of issues, and people will be worried about security and other companies tracking your movements. I know that happens a lot already with our phones, with a lot of different apps that people don't know about. What are some concerns people should worry about here, and things they can do to fix it?
So the data is supposed to be anonymized, and so obviously, of course, at some point it needs to be de-anonymized to be able to get in touch with the person that has that phone or that was in contact or near somebody that tested positive. But I really worry about two things. So one is any of these databases or any of this information being accessed by somebody, a criminal who's able to break in and get that data and use it nefariously. But also when you think about privacy, if this information is going into these large databases or is available to companies or health departments or whatever else it might be, how else will it be used? Will law enforcement or will other government agencies, want to use this data? It's a very attractive target for a lot of organizations, to be able to get into this data and use it in other ways that they may not have thought
of. Real quick, we talk a lot about the problems in the economy right now, people losing their jobs. What's business like in cybersecurity right now? I imagine with a lot of people working from home, there must be a lot going on for you.
So it's going pretty well. It's different. I mean, there are different things. Certain organizations, of course, when you think about it, we see a lot of organizations declaring bankruptcy or having challenges. So there's certainly that. But really, with everyone moving home and working from home, there are a lot of security issues there. So we've certainly been involved in a number of those. Additionally, a lot of cybersecurity is required by regulations and by laws. So a lot of it has to be done. So being in this profession right now, it feels pretty secure.
Okay. Alex Hamerstone with TrustedSec, thanks so much for joining us and helping out our viewers with some information.
Thank you very much.